everyone, welcome to STEM with Chantel. I'm Chantel and this is Ty, and we're here at Badger Technologies. We're going to show you some cool things today. Did you know we have robots in Nicholasville, Kentucky?
Hi, so I'm Tim Rowland with Badger Technologies. We're part of a larger organization, Jabil, that's based in St. Pete, Florida. We're based here in Lexington, Kentucky, and actually in Nicholasville. We are very proud of our Jessamine County roots here. So Badger Technologies, what we're all about. The cool thing about us, we have robots running around, but honestly, it's the robots capturing images and helping retailers kind of figure out what's going on in their stores. And so you'll see some things during this video about the robots scanning shelves or looking at floors. And what we're trying to do is to give them visibility into the actual store locations. Whether it's being a safer environment with cleaning up spills and hazards and things on the floor, or helping them stock their shelves and make sure we've got the right products on the right shelf at the right time and priced the right way. So that's our mission, and we like to partner up with retailers, especially grocery retailers, and try to help them do better with their business operation. So to do that, there's a lot of technology behind what we do. And everything from hardware to power control to software to cloud applications. We've kind of got all the cool stuff you'd love to have on your resume, honestly. And we've got some extremely talented folk really from all over the US that we've assembled that range everything from hardware development to software development to cloud applications. And that's what we're about. This particular location mostly focused on our service and our software. And you'll see guys writing code that is hosted in the cloud. You'll see code that's on the device itself, controlling motors and all the mechanisms that make these robots happen. So again, you'll see this cool robot running around with its lights. There's a lot of smart technology behind all that. So the environment we like to set, it's an open format. We love the collaboration, as we like to call it, the collisional discussions and dialogue. But you'll notice it's kind of dark in here. This is a great atmosphere for the guys to be creative, to kind of get in their zone and do their thing. Again, kind of quiet, but at the same time, a lot of good conversations that kind of bust out spontaneous as we go along. So this is an area we refer to as Skybox. It's the idea of we've got our people looking at the robots and making sure they're behaving. One thing about all of our robots, they phone home, if you will, every 10 seconds. They have a heartbeat. And we can monitor that heartbeat, and most of the time they'll tell us if something is wrong or not working correctly, but sometimes we have to kind of dive in and look as well. So these guys are monitoring these robots, over 500 robots, really 24 hours, 7 days a week. And we can see what they're doing and how well they're doing it. We can watch their path. If it's time for a preventive maintenance, they can flag themselves. If they get stuck in some area or somebody's blocked them in or having some fun with our robot, they'll wave their hand and say, hey, need some help here. And occasionally we even call the store and say, hey, somebody's tried to corral our robot into the corner. Can you let our robot free again? But this is really the lifeblood of good support. This is what's keeping us doing really well. These guys do a fantastic job of making sure everything's running the way it should and keeping the customers happy. So you can see kind of a top view looking at the shelving units, and you'll see how the robots run up and down there. Then you can zoom in on a corner of it. You'll see the little blue squares are exactly what the robot's doing, and as it walks through the location. So then if he needs to dive in and look at something specific, he can look at some of the parameters of the robot running its thing. I want to grab another picture. That was cool. So he can reset the robot to point in a little different direction. There's the cameras that it's actually seeing as it's running down through the aisles of the store. So this is an area we call the calibration room. So we're calibrating the robot. You'll see kind of in the background a lot of robots. We've got 6 cameras that focus on the shelf. We've got 3 focused on the floor. We've got other navigation cameras. All of those have to work together. And the way to do that is in our manufacturing process to actually calibrate those with test patterns. So this is replicating that test room that we have for our manufacturing facility, making sure all the robots are working the way they should. So here's a little area that we have kind of a mini grocery store set up to actually verify the operation. But it gives you a sense of we're able to read these price tags, also read what they refer to as a sales bib, and make sure that price matches, in this case, the Nature Valley oatmeal bars. We can also detect if the product displayed is the proper product, so we do image recognition on that product and make sure it's the proper flavor or the proper variety they're wanting to display. And this works for boxes and bottles and cans and packets and various other things. Some are harder to do than others, but again, we've pretty much tackled this job and been able to conquer it. So here's a great example of we needed to display honey roasted Cheerios or honey bunches and oats. In this particular case, it's actually reflecting strawberry. So that's a case where that could be a dissatisfied customer. They hurry, grab this, get it home, and realize it's not the flavor the kids are going to eat. So that's one where we can detect what we call a wrong product has been displayed. So here's an area that we test our ability to read these very small barcodes that are part of the price tag. Many of you have seen retail associates go around and read that with an RF scanner. Our robot, as it passes by, can read these very small barcodes, pull that information off. That tells them what product should be displayed. It also helps them reference the proper price to do the price check. The robot will run for about 12 hours looking at floors, about 6 hours looking at shelves, but when it's time to charge back up, it'll back itself into this docking position. And you'll notice there's some symbols on there. We call them fiducials. So there's some on the robot, and what it's trying to do is the robot's trying to align itself with the exact connector location to make sure it can mate up. So think about your electric car where you're needing to plug in for a charge, very similar. Or your Roomba vacuum cleaner backing itself in to charge up. And seems like a simple operation, but teaching the robot to actually purposely run into something and run into it accurately, well, that took a little bit of engineering. So the first operation was to examine floors in a grocery store with cameras pointed down. Well, pretty quickly we realized some customers would like to have what they refer to as a security robot. So imagine third shift or some area of your location that is really hard to get humans to do that on a repeated basis. So if we take these 3 cameras focused to the floor and actually raise them, we can look for open doors or broken glass or smoke in the area. So now this robot has been repurposed to be really a security guard. So here's an example of extending the ability of our robot. You'll see very similar to the other robots, but we're actually testing with UVC bulbs that will actually kill viruses such as COVID or Ebola. This would be the application where the robot could go down the center of the aisle and actually soak both sides of the aisle and disinfect those areas to provide a lot cleaner environment. Imagine a grocer could do that every night. So really appreciate the focus on Badger. Appreciate the visit. Really, we like to kind of brag about what we've done here. We got a lot of great guys that have done some incredible work, and we're really proud of what we're able to do here at Badger.
Thanks for watching. If you would like to see more STEM with Chantel videos, check out this playlist. If you want to know when JCPL puts out more content, click the subscribe button and the notification bell.